So I just did a time-lapse video of taking my rollers out and doing my initial brush through. I have already put in a little bit of this precious oil from Pureology, which unfortunately is discontinued. So this is my last bottle. I'm very sad about that. I've also used a little bit of this scented orange flower pomade that I got on Etsy. It's from the Little Bits shop. I can send you a link. But this is actually the best hair pomade that I've used in a very long time. It doesn't weigh my hair down. It doesn't make it sticky. A little bit goes a long way, and it smells amazing. So I just want to show you a little bit more about how I brush my hair. It's really nothing fantastic. Oh, and I've done a little bit of teasing on my roots here, which I can probably do a little bit more. The time-lapse video didn't turn out as well as I had hoped, but so basically I just take this section here, I split it in two, and I just tease just a bit at the roots. I just want a little bit of height. I don't want too much. And I do the sides that are facing each other. This helps to minimize a little bit of the frizziness that happens. On this side, I do want to brush this out a little bit, and you can start to see, just by me brushing, you can start to see those nice waves forming. And I do want that as a base underneath. So when I do move this over, you can see this nice wave happening here. So I'm going to go ahead and clip that so I can keep that wave. And then I hold that in place as to not try and budge too much. And then I find the next wave that's coming down, and I'll clip that. Just do a little bit of spray. Work on the other side. This side always seems to get a much better wave very easily. And put another one up here just to accentuate that a little bit more. So I'm just taking sections, brushing it under. My hair doesn't like to stay in these sections very much, so if I can force it a little bit more, it will stay. So you can see in the mirror here, now it's all coming together at the bottom. And it's literally just brushing and brushing and brushing. And you can see this wave starting to form. Normally I would go ahead and clip with my duckbill clips these sections to form them. I usually just do it by feel. I can feel in the back where the divot is. So you can see now. And that's just from me feeling where that ridge is. And you can see this next one is here. So just slightly down from this top one. You can see those two ridges, and this is just from getting those rows straight for my rollers. Keeping everything in a nice uniform pattern really creates these ridges. If you haphazardly put in your rollers, you're not going to get this nice line, this nice ridge for these waves to happen. It's a pattern for a reason, because it does create these uniform ridges here. And do a little bit of a spray, and then I'll just keep this as long as I possibly can to let these sit and marinate a little bit. And honestly, I don't really care if my ends are a little bit frizzy. I have naturally curly hair. I live in Hawaii. I've kind of given up on any sort of smooth style. But this is pretty much it. I'll come back after I take out my clips so you can see the finished product. So I wanted to show you a little bit more about how I brush out the back of my hair. I know a lot of you are afraid of brushing. Trust me, keep brushing. It will do wonders for your hair. If you have a good, strong set, the brushing is not going to make your curls fall. It will make everything form all together, especially if you've done a good, structured set where you have a pattern. You'll start to see the ridges, you'll start to see the waves. The more you brush, the more that will start to come together. So don't be afraid to brush, just keep going. Trust me, it will all calm down, it'll come together. So hopefully you can see that with my brush out now. I know it sounds like I'm tearing my hair out, but I swear I'm not. Can you see how these ridges are starting to form and start to come together? So at this point you can do your duckbill clips if you wish. You can hairspray it as is. You can put a hairnet over it to help to preserve the curls, or you can just wing it and go from there. But don't be afraid to brush. It'll be fine, I promise. Okay, so here's my finished brush out. Have a nice wave going on here and right over here. I have sprayed it to hold. If I was going out to work, or depending on the weather, I'd probably put a hairnet over this just to preserve it. But you can go as is. If you wanted to, you could add a couple of bobby pins in here just to hold this in place, and maybe one right here, again, just to hold that down. But you can see the back has some nice waves to it. Pretty happy with it overall. So this is my typical brush out day one. I would wear it down like this just because I don't wear it down very often, usually the first day or two from my wet set. And then I do a half up, half down, and various other hairstyles throughout the week. But there you go. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help, and keep brushing.